Good evening, everybody. My name is Alexander. I decided to record my saxophone journey as I've just gotten one. So I'm gonna literally create a YouTube channel for just putting out my, you know, exercises and everything that I'm learning. I'm a musician. Partially, I've been playing guitar my whole life. I'm a software engineer by profession, but I play music my whole life. And my whole life, I wanted to actually get a saxophone. I'm 35. I finally did it, pulled the plug. So this is the first video. The way that this is going to work, and I'm going to upload these videos to YouTube then, is I'm just going to sometimes talk like this. Sometimes I'm just going to, keep the camera on and I'm going to practice. But either way, yeah, this is going to be my journey into saxophone. As you can see here, I have a camera. I just got a saxophone. I actually literally didn't touch it yet. I just removed it from the box. It arrived from Amazon. So that is pretty much all the thing that I've done. As you can see, there's none of this stuff is unpacked here yet. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you now in this video what I ordered and how I'm going to approach it, and then I'm going to actually do it and watch YouTube videos and stuff like that. So alright, well, I'm gonna go and start. So if I actually go back, this is kind of what I just got. So these are the things that I bought so far. They're all here. So I bought this guy, as you can see. This is as I'm a complete beginner, basically this is used for this mouthpiece. I don't know how is it called. It's used to hold, it's basically, it's just used to put on this thing so you can blow in it. That's kind of my explanation now. I bought these things as well. If I actually switch to them, it's the mouthpiece cushions. Basically, as far as I researched so far, they're also supposed to kind of soften this little piece as well to kind of make it easier to play. And then I bought this S*2, I don't know how to pronounce that. I bought this saxophone. As you can see, I bought the last one here on a German Amazon, and it arrived here in Denmark. So that's the one that you're looking at here. And as you can see, it comes with a strap and stuff like that. And actually, I'm going to try to learn how to use any of this because I haven't unpacked it yet. So basically, I bought this stuff, and the saxophone, of course, and this book that I bought is going to arrive tomorrow. Now, what I'm actually going to be doing, I'm going to be learning from a couple of YouTube channels first, then I'm probably going to subscribe to this Better Sax, or I believe it's Better Sax. As I said, I'm a software engineer, so what I'm also going to be doing, I'm going to be using ChatGPT, a large language model, to help me with some stuff. But as I said, I already know some music theory and stuff because I've been playing guitar my whole life. So I'm going to share some resources that I found on Reddit and on ChatGPT. As you can see, learn to play saxophone in 1 hour member. So there's this, apparently what I could research is that Sax School Online is the best resource to learn saxophone on your own. Then there's a channel called Get Your Sax Together. This is apparently a good channel. I don't know. I'll see. I'm not quite sure yet. Let me actually just do one thing here. Properties. I just want to make sure that the audio from my OBS, from my computer, you can hear it as well. So tracks, alerts, give me one moment. Desktop audio, yeah. So I'm going to make sure to check all of this stuff so you can also hear it as well. Okay, so yeah, so Get Your Sax Together. Saxophone Academy, this was also suggested. It looks pretty good. And then the one that I actually found that I really liked a lot. Where is it? Hopefully I have saved it. I found. No, it's not this one. It's another one. Give me 2 seconds. Membership, Saxophone Academy, Saxophone Beginner Course. Is it this one? Maybe. No. There's a YouTube channel that I found, but I'm gonna take a look at it later. But yeah, this is essentially what I'm going to be using. And I'm going to switch to this camera now. I'm just going to see kind of where I start now, because I need to find this video that I want to watch, that I want to start with. And I'm going to actually attempt to do so. I found this super cool channel that I really liked a lot. So I'm going to try to follow that. Yeah, I think I got it. Yeah, Music Sax School. Yeah. So I'm actually going to somehow I'm going to continue. I'm going to mute my microphone now, and I'm going to just, do a practice session without just pretending that I'm alone in the room, which I actually am. So what I'm actually going to do, I'm going to, I'm going to pretty much go to my, I guess, full screen or whatever. And I want to make sure that so I'm going to go to my main screen here. Now I'm going to do something like this. So this is the basically channel I'm going to start with, my saxophone journey. This is what we start with. And I'm going to actually go to the playlists here. And I'm going to go to beginner saxophone quick start. Exactly. All right, this is it. I'm going to use this now. I'm going to mute my mic and I'm going to start with this.
In this first part of the course, we are going to be talking about how to set up your mouthpiece and your reed and get your saxophone all assembled so you can start to make your very first sounds. Now, I'm going to show you on the alto saxophone today, but you could also use this lesson whether you're starting on tenor or soprano or baritone. And by the way, most of us start on alto or tenor as adult learners, but if you're unsure about which one, check out the video down below where I help you choose between alto and tenor saxophone. Now, we've all got different ways that we like to assemble our saxophone. Often I'll have my whole saxophone assembled while I'm getting my reed out, and then I'll put my reed on my saxophone. But for today, what I'd like you to do is to grab your neck and your mouthpiece. So I'm playing an alto saxophone, so of course I've got an alto saxophone mouthpiece. You've probably got a mouthpiece that came with your saxophone, but if you're going out to buy a new mouthpiece, make sure you choose the right one that suits your particular saxophone. Okay, so I've got my neck and I've got my mouthpiece, and the very first step is to put these two things together, and it should be an easy twist. So if you're struggling to get your mouthpiece easily onto your neck, and it's not just a simple twist, try putting some cork grease on. That should make it easier, and you should always put cork grease on every couple of weeks anyway to make sure that your cork doesn't dry out. But if you're still struggling to get that mouthpiece on, then just put easily onto your phone. But if you're going out to buy a new mouthpiece, make sure you choose the right one that suits your particular saxophone. Okay, so I've got my neck and I've got my mouthpiece, and the very first step is to put these two things together, and it should be an easy twist. So if you're struggling to get your mouthpiece easily onto your neck, and it's not just a simple twist, try putting some cork grease on. That should make it easier, and you should always put cork grease on every couple of weeks anyway to make sure that your cork doesn't dry out. But if you're still struggling to get that mouthpiece on, then just pop back to your retailer or go see a repairer. They can adjust that cork. It's a dead easy process, and it's a very common problem if you've changed to a new mouthpiece. Now, it's really important to get your mouthpiece lined up properly on the neck. If you hold your neck so that you can see the rib on the underside of the neck, the flat side of the mouthpiece should be perfectly in line with that. And we should have about 1 centimeter of cork showing beyond the mouthpiece. Okay, let's move on to the next step. So the second piece of equipment we need is one of these. This repairer, they can adjust that cork. It's a dead easy process. And it's a very common problem if you've changed to a new mouthpiece. Now, it's really important to get your mouthpiece lined up properly on the neck. If you hold your neck so that you can see the rib on the underside of the neck, the flat side of the mouthpiece should be perfectly in line with that. And we should have about 1 centimeter of cork showing beyond the mouthpiece. Okay, let's move on to the next step.
All right, so what I noticed, because I've never done before, there's a little kind of triangle here. Let me just show it. I don't know if my camera is going to be able to zoom in. There's a little kind of arrow here, like almost like a triangle, and I think we could probably use this this thing to kind of align it directly. There's a little also triangle kind of here. I think that's what he's basically saying. He's saying, hey, you know, make sure that they are aligned. So this kind of, so I think this would be a middle. If I had a linear here, it would be actually useful, but let me actually use some sort of a paper just so I can see kind of if it's lined, and I think it is, right? So you can kind of almost use a linear of some sort or something and see. This probably comes with practice with time, but yeah, this looks good. All right, let me now continue.
So the second piece of equipment we need is one of these. This is a ligature. Now ligatures come in lots of different styles and shapes. You can see this one's got 2 screws, whereas this other one here has got a single screw. This one's a fancy metal one, this one's made of string, and this one's got no screws at all. It's just a ring of brass. This is the Jody Jazz Power Ring ligature. Now every ligature does the same job, which is just to hold the reed on place. I'll show you the reed in a second. But for now, just try popping your ligature on your mouthpiece so you know which way around it goes. For me, I've got this 2-screw ligature, which is the most standard style, and the screws face the same side as the flat side of the mouthpiece. But you'll notice with this single screw ligature, the screw is actually at the top. Okay, let's move on to reeds. This is a saxophone reed. Now reeds come in different brands, they come in different sizes and even in different materials. So you can see this is a synthetic reed, this is a traditional cane reed. And I'd suggest that you start with a cane reed. But of course you need to get the correct reed for
So basically, sorry. So I basically watched this video a couple of days ago before I even had a saxophone. I just started watching, and so these reeds that he's talking about is this thing that I bought. This was the best seller on Amazon, as I showed you. I'm going to include the links in the description. But yeah, you're going to get one with this sax as well. Now, was this worth like 30 euros to get like how many of those? 10? I have no idea. I've never in my life seen this item before. So who knows? But this is of the size 2, and he's going to explain these sizes. Now, I got the size 2 because I watched this video, and apparently the greater the number, the thicker the size of this thing, which means you have to apparently blow harder. And especially for us beginners, that obviously is not something that we want to do. All right, let's watch.
the type of saxophone that you're playing. I'm on an alto saxophone. This is an alto saxophone reed. Now reeds come in different sizes, and the sizes refer to the thickness of the reed. The higher the size, the harder it is to play. For a beginner adult player, I'd suggest starting with a size 2 reed, but you could also choose a 1.5. Most players though eventually move up to a 2.5 reed or maybe even a size 3 reed. It really depends on your mouthpiece and your physiology. So I've been playing for like 40 years and I still play in a size 2.5 reed because for me, that suits me with the mouthpiece that I like to play. So just be aware that whatever size you start at, whether that's 1.5 or 2, as your mouth muscles get stronger, you'll probably move up a size or 2. Okay, let's look at how we fit this onto our mouthpiece. So the way the reed works is it makes a seal on the mouthpiece and it vibrates as we blow across it. So it's really important to get that seal working really, really well. And for that reason, we must make sure that the reed is wet. Okay, this is the thing that most beginner saxophone players think is a bit disgusting. We have to have a lick of our reed. Now, I'll generally have it in my mouth while I'm setting my saxophone up. What's that, about 15 seconds or something? But it is important to get it wet. And also at the back of the reed, so everywhere on the bottom. That's the disgusting part out of the way. It's nice and wet. Let's talk about how we fit this onto our mouthpiece. Now, the really important thing here is that the reed is fragile at the tip, but the heel is the strongest part. And it's got a flat side which goes to the flat side of the mouthpiece. So I'm right-handed, so I normally would hold my mouthpiece with my left hand and slide the ligature forward, making sure that the screws are nice and loose. Then I slide the reed in thick end first and line it up even on both sides and just a whisker down from the top, and then tighten the screws just finger tight. Now it's really important that you don't over tighten your ligature. The ligature just has to hold the reed in place so that it doesn't move, and that way it can vibrate freely. When you're new to putting your reed on, you might find you need to fiddle with it a little bit to get it right, but it should look nice and neat. Every time you do that, by the way, it's going to get much easier. Let's put the saxophone together and start making some sounds. So we just jerk it to get it right. Now it's really important that you don't over tighten your ligature. The ligature just has to hold the reed in place so that it doesn't move, and that way it can vibrate freely. When you're new to putting your reed on, you might find you need to fiddle with it a little bit to get it right, but it should look nice.
Alrighty, so first impressions, yeah, licking this piece of wood was disgusting. So I guess we'll have to get used to it. It was pretty disgusting. I think I kind of did a solid job. I think. So when I look at how he did it, I did it pretty much the same. I didn't use this new thing that I got out of like these 10 cool ones, I guess. We'll see if there's any difference between the cheap one that came with this. Is maybe it's just like with every other instrument, like, oh, if I buy this special piece of wood, it's going to be better. Who knows? So I'm still using the one that guy got with this sax that I got. So let's see. So I think I have it properly here. I didn't over tighten this at all. There's this thing is moving a little bit here. I think that's what it's supposed to do. My assumption is that the way that this functions, the function of this is that it kind of opens and closes this hole where we're going to blow, and then that's how you produce sound. But let's see. Let's continue.
Neat. Every time you do that, by the way, it's going to get much easier. Let's put the saxophone together and start making some sounds. So we just gently twist the neck into the top of our saxophone body. We need to make sure that the rib that I mentioned before is in line with this key here. And then we gently tighten the screw at the top of our saxophone. Just like with our ligature, it doesn't need to be super tight, just finger tight so that the neck doesn't move. Now we haven't spoken about this yet, but this is a neck strap. You should have one in your saxophone case, and this is really important. So find your neck strap and pop it over your neck. So the neck is super tight, just finger tight, and we gently tighten the saxophone together and start making some sounds. So we just gently twist the neck into the top of our saxophone body. We need to make sure that the rib that I mentioned before is in line with this key here.
So yeah, it's another very good thing here because so it seems that these guys are like super kind. They made these little kind of I don't know what shape, geometric shape this. I don't know if it's a triangle, but you can see I can kind of see exactly how I should position this. So I think this is very useful. It would not be so easy to kind of align it fit, but I can see this little key here as he calls it, and then this thing going in here. So I've tightened it enough so it doesn't move. All right, let's keep on going.
And then we gently tighten the screw at the top of our saxophone. Just like with our ligature, it doesn't need to be super tight, just finger tight so that the neck doesn't move. Now we haven't spoken about this yet, but this is a neck strap. You should have one in your saxophone case, and this is really important. So find your neck strap and pop it over your neck.
All right, let me find mine. I haven't unpacked this yet. So let me see. We got some cloth, I guess, for cleaning with the set for cleaning the sax. All right, I think this is it. There's some glove that came with this. I guess we don't need a glove, but let's see. Okay, so here it is. Here it is. Cool, very cool. All right, looks very nice. I mean, considering this is not the most expensive, this is not the most expensive sax. All right, and I do this, I guess. Let's see, how do we adjust this?
The neck strap is super important because it supports all the weight of the saxophone when we're playing. That way we can avoid having any extra tension in our arms. So the hook at the end of your neck strap should go into the ring at the back of your saxophone. So let's talk quickly about posture. Whether you're sat down like I am or stood up when you're playing, which is actually a really good idea, it's important that the neck strap is adjusted so that the mouthpiece can easily go straight into your mouth. You don't want to have to move your head up and down to reach that mouthpiece. You want it to be really, really comfortable. So to position our hands, take your right thumb, stick it under the hook at the back of your saxophone, and take your left thumb and stick that on the button at the top back of your saxophone. Okay, no need to push down any button.
All right, I have no idea what he just said, so bear with me. So first and foremost, this strap feels a little bit strange, but because I guess I'm not holding the saxophone properly. But wait, how did he say that we should hold this? So I guess, which hand goes where? I guess the right hand goes down, and my left hand goes somewhere around here. I have no freaking clue. Let me try to see that again.
This can easily go straight into your mouth. You don't want to have to move your head up and down to reach that mouthpiece. You want it to be really, really comfortable. So to position our hands, take your right thumb, stick it under the hook at the back of your saxophone, and take your left thumb and stick that on the button at the top back of your saxophone. Okay, no need to push down any buttons for now. Let's talk about your embouchure. So in the saxophone world, your embouchure is your mouth. It's your mouth muscles and your mouth shape. And
I actually don't think that I've positioned this thing properly. It feels weird. Yeah, I think it actually goes like this instead. Yeah, I think I didn't position it well. Now I see what he claims that it should align with. So I think this is now fine. You can see my first sounds. Of course, I don't know how to make it. All right, let's see what he said.
And that's super important because that's the thing that really helps us to get the sound that we love on saxophone. Now, just like if you were starting a new sport, you'd need to build up your skills and you need to build up your strength. Well, it's the same with saxophone. Our mouth muscles need to build up and get stronger and have more stamina the more that we play. So it's really important that we take our time to build those muscles gradually. But the first step is getting a great shape of your mouth so that we can support that reed. Now I mentioned about the reed vibrating, so we need to make a little cushion for that reed to sit on so that it can vibrate easily. And the way we do that is with our bottom lip. Now there's a million different things on YouTube that will tell you one way or the other about how to shape your mouth. It can get really confusing. Let me show you the way that I've taught our thousands of students inside Sax School. So let's start off by saying VOO, V-O-O, VOO. When you make that sound, a couple important things happen. First of all, we get that round shape, ooh, and secondly, the VOO bunches up your bottom lip. So try saying VOO for me now, and then slide your mouthpiece into your mouth. VOO. Can you feel that bunched up lip that the reed rests on? Now stick your top teeth on top of the mouthpiece. This is really important. And then make a seal around the mouthpiece like a drawstring bag. So you're making a round seal around the mouthpiece. So VOO, top teeth on, drawstring. Okay, that's the perfect shape for saxophone. One last thing to tell you, and that's how much mouthpiece to put in your mouth. If you look across the mouthpiece, there's a point where the reed comes away from the mouthpiece, and that's where your lips should be. Okay, take a big breath, and let's make the longest sound that we can.
Yeah, I don't know honestly how to make a sound. I don't know if everything that... let me go to Amazon and read if everything is fine with the sax. I mean, in a sense of, is this something that I kind of forgot doing? So I'm going to go here. And I'm going to check if there's something I forgot doing. Because I think I read in the comments that they forgot to mention something for us. They only... What does this mean? What is a grease? They say they forgot to put grease in the cork. I don't know what a grease is. They forgot to put grease. I don't get it. I don't get it. Let's go to ChatGPT and ask what this means. What does this mean in the context of a saxophone? I am a complete beginner. Ah, so I guess it's this one, right? Is the thing that we did in fact put in, right? Yeah. So what am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? All right, let me hear. Let me.
So it's really important that we take our time to build those muscles gradually. But the first step is getting a great shape of your mouth so that we can support that reed. Now I mentioned about the reed vibrating, so we need to make a little cushion for that reed to sit on so that it can vibrate easily. And the way we do that is with our bottom lip. Now there's a million different things on YouTube that will tell you one way or the other about how to shape your mouth. It can get really confusing. Let me show you the way that I've taught our thousands of students inside Sax School. So let's start off by saying VOO, V-O-O, VOO. When you make that sound, a couple important things happen. First of all, we get that round shape, ooh, and secondly, the VOO bunches up your bottom lip. So try saying VOO for me now, and then slide your mouthpiece into your mouth. VOO. Can you feel that bunched up lip that the reed rests on? Now stick your top teeth on top of the mouthpiece. This is really important. And then make a seal around the mouthpiece like a drawstring bag. So you're making a round.
All right, I think I made my first sound. I'm just gonna record this. All right, I think that's gonna be pretty much it. That is the first lesson, I think. It's very late, so I can't play now. I didn't expect that it's gonna be this loud. But yeah, I think I did it. Made the first sound. So made the first sound. Let me just hide some of this stuff. Just made the first sound. Full camera. Where is this guy? Did sources, Twitch chat, C92. So I'm just gonna hide this. So yeah, so there we have it. I think this is a great success. My wife instantly knocked on the door because indeed it is too loud. So this is my sax. I'm happy. Obviously there's a lot of stuff to learn. I mean, there's everything to learn. Clearly, I don't know a single thing about this. What I've learned from this video is that I need to, they put, actually this black thing I think we should probably remove. I'm not actually sure if they, I think this black thing is probably supposed to be removed. This is kind of where we're supposed to put our thumb, and then our fingers go over here, hitting these keys, these notes. Yeah, there's 4 notes here. There's 3 notes here. I don't know, but this is kind of the position. And then what I've heard is that you shouldn't need to move your, like the saxophone should basically come directly to your mouth. So as you can see here, should probably lift it a little bit up because I need to move my head. So I'm just gonna do that. Yeah, and this seems to be the right posture, I think. So straight and relaxed neck and stuff like that, I think. The thumb goes down here as far as I saw. So right here, the other thumb goes on this black key on this saxophone at least. And then, yeah, and then basically this thing has to be aligned with, yeah, with basically this little thing here. I don't know, how is this thing called? And I need to check, is this black key supposed to be here? Let's actually do that together. I'm gonna go to main here, and I'm gonna go over here and look at the picture, because I don't think that there is this black thing here. Does this guy have it on the picture? No, not really. Well, actually, we can't see it there, can we? Can we see it from the back? Yeah, I think it is there, maybe. I don't actually know. It just looks a little bit weird. Let me try to see, are there any pictures of this thing somewhere where I can kind of see a little bit better. If, yeah, actually it's here in the picture. Let's see. Yeah, so it seems that it is there. I think it's right here. Right? Yeah, here it is. So they didn't remove it, I suppose. Let's see, let's go through some theory here. So let me try to, so this is the mouthpiece. So this is the ligature, this basically thing here. So let's go saxophone parts or diagram or whatever. Yeah, here it is. Just so we can, so this is the reed. Let's actually open a new tab. So ligature is this thing here that holds the mouthpiece. So the black thing here is the mouthpiece. The reed is the wooden thing, right? This thing that we said that I bought, a bunch of these, 10 of them. By the way, 4 come with this saxophone as well, so more than enough, I guess. So the ligature holds that. Cork is this thing that looks like a wine, this thing when you open a wine bottle. This is the octave key. If you don't know what an octave is, basically on a guitar, that would be, let's say, a 12th fret. If you're playing on one string, on let's say string E, an octave would be E would be on 12th fret. So basically, it seems to me that they're saying that this part here is an octave, and that is basically okay. So you can see here, that's very interesting. Without even watching the lessons, so you can see since our thumb is going to be basically here. Let me just go back here. So since our thumb is going to be on this black key here, the octave really is just pressing this thing right where our thumb is. So that's super easy. That seems very simple. But that's basically going to increase our pitch by 1 octave, basically, right? So that's awesome. Good to know. Then we have the keys. So this is the neck, basically. The pipe is the neck, the body. The whole thing is the body. This is the neck. So this is the thing that we had to align with this little kind of, I don't know what this thing is. This, yeah. So basically, okay, so now I can tell you when I know more. So what you actually have to align the neck with is this octave key here. So that's what the author, that's what the guy that we watched on YouTube together said. So basically, as you can see here, there's this thing that I'm pressing, which is the octave key, is basically hitting this little metal piece here, and that has to be aligned with your triangle here. So that's good to know. So because yeah. All right, so let's get back to the main over here. So we have the keys. So here are the keys. So we have some keys here, and I suppose the keys are also below. Yeah, so we have the bottom keys near we use with the right hand and the left hand. Key guards, I don't actually know what that is. Bell, I guess this is the horn or whatever. Keys, body. So yeah, so it's not rocket science, honestly. It seems pretty simple. Octave key, I like where it is already. I'm excited to hit these super high notes already tomorrow during the day. Body, so yeah, that is fundamentally the parts of a saxophone. there's something more we can take a look at together. And what I'm actually going to do tomorrow, because I have a standing desk here, actually I'm going to try to just lift it up already now. I don't actually like, it's very uncomfortable in a sitting position. So what I'm actually going to do, I'm going to try to practice standing like this. I'm going to just switch to this. So I think it's way more comfortable if I do it like this. And then I can also record myself. Let's see, so hold my thumb over here. This probably going to not be in a t-shirt. I'm going to try to wear some shirt that can kind of, because this neck strap is right on my neck right now. So it's not very nice. Probably going to actually go to Thomann and find a better neck strap. Thomann, let me actually go there immediately, because Thomann neck strap, I guess, saxophone. Probably find some expensive one, or at least the one where people kind of say that they like. I'm not saying that this one is bad. I'm not. So actually, let me just give it some time, not to get ahead of myself. But yeah, this seems. Now this one is the most popular, top seller. I usually go by what people say. Yeah, so it's leather. This is some sort of a soft thing. I don't know. I don't think it's leather. Let's actually go back to the saxophone I bought, and let's take a look at this. Yeah, does it say saxophone complete set with carry bag for saxophone, mouthpiece, reed, strap? Let's see. Comes with everything you need. The package includes Easter saxophone carrying bag, a carrying strap, maximum 110 pounds, shoulder strap, white gloves. Yeah, actually, give me 1 second. So yeah, here are the gloves. I actually went to some saxophone forums or Reddit before I got my sax today. And I know that a lot of saxophone players are laughing on a concept of gloves. So there's probably some meme, in the community about those. So I'm not going to obviously use them. It does seem ridiculous for now, but let's see. And yeah, like I said, we got some cleaning cloth here, nothing special. More cleaning cloth. And then, then we got these things, which I already forgot what the name is. So the reeds. So basically, you're going to get 4 of the reeds with the sax. I'm not actually sure which size it is. Which size are those? Let's take a look at that together. If I go to, so reeds, 2.5 inches, right? So this is based on this guy that we just watched together. This is fundamentally, or the best balanced one. So it's either 2 or 2.5. I got the 2s. As you can see, it says number 2 if my camera manages to focus. Because, I literally, this is the first time in my life that I'm holding this instrument. So yeah, but keep in mind, you don't have to buy this, because if I go to this one, it's quite expensive. This is like Danish crowns to euro. This is like a lot of euros. This is 33 euros for 10 of those, right? I guess this is going to last a lot. The reason why I bought them is because there's like clearly the best, most sold one, right? Then I got also those. We're going to set this one up together tomorrow in another video, which I'm going to record this whole journey. But basically this thing goes, these are the mouth, as you can see, mouthpiece cushions, which basically you smack on the bottom right there, I believe. So when you're biting with your mouth, that apparently that it's softer or whatever. All right, so this is my saxophone journey. Super happy. I'm gonna actually, the last thing before I go, I've also gotten this stand with this set. So this you get this also if you buy this thing, as you can see in the picture here. So that also came. I'm not actually sure if I should deassemble this again and put it back into the bag, or if I should keep it here. I guess it's way more dusty if I keep it on my table, but my room is going to look cooler. Everybody's going to see that I have a saxophone, right? Jokes aside, okay. Okay, this is my journey. I'm going to now stop recording this, and I'll see you guys in another one. Have a great one. Cheers.